Let's go with some very simple but very useful tricks, especially the last one. It's very important that the two pieces of wood have the same thickness, and for them to be aligned here. I want to make a simple jig for drilling wooden rods. It's a bit small, but this is just a test. Well, it looks good. For the first trick, I need them to have a perfect 90-degree front. I want the wooden rod to protrude above one of the sides. I'll let you know in advance that I'll need to use my trick to easily and quickly find the center of round wooden rods. Later, we'll see why it's important and what it's useful for. Now with a clamp, I securely fasten this wooden strip as a stop. I place the rod like this. The part that sticks out on one side will be pressed against the table, and the side of the box that is higher will go against the stop. This way, I have a sort of improvised miter box. I press it against the table, and with the Japanese saw resting against the front of the box, I cut the wood slowly. I tried cutting several times and got an almost perfect cut about 80% of the time. However, when it goes wrong, it's very frustrating. My idea was to make something for cutting at any angle, but I'm not sure if it's worth it. Well, let's move on to the most interesting part of the video. As I mentioned earlier, I need to properly mark the center of the wooden rod. And now, pay attention. I place the rod like this and rotate it, moving it forward until I see the center. I make a mark on the box aligned with the center, and I take the opportunity to draw the diameter on the end of the rod. And now, if I align the diameter with the mark, it will be perfectly vertical. There it is. The diameter is perfectly vertical. The tricky part is holding this. I need to lower the front of the clamp a bit. I make sure the diameter I drew is perfectly vertical. And we take this to the drill press. I don't care about the position in which I place this. I just align the drill bit with the diameter, and I place this fence behind it, snug along the length of the box. I check that the drill bit is still properly aligned. This is just a test, but I measure to ensure the 90-degree holes are at the same distance. I drill a first hole at one end. And by moving the box along the side fence, the next hole will be aligned with the first one. And also along the same generatrix of the cylinder. Now, to complete the trick, I need a wooden dowel, but the ones I have are too tight, so I sand it a bit to make it fit more easily. And I cut it because it is a bit long. Now I am going to drill the base of the box. I insert the dowel into the hole and fit it in one of the holes of the wooden rod. Now, the interesting trick is that this thickness, that was against the fence. I rotate this 90 degrees, and here I have the same thickness. If I place it like this, against the fence, I drill holes at 90 degrees to the previous ones. Okay, as it enters the hole I made earlier at 90 degrees, the drill bit grabs the wood and pulls the rod upwards. I need to hold it better. Let me adjust the depth stop, which I also forgot to reset. And I drill the next hole aligned with the first one. And here I have these two holes that are at 90 degrees. And both point to the axis of the rod. These two are also at 90 degrees. And the holes are aligned along the generatrices of the wooden cylinder. I think it's an interesting technique for many projects,